So it's official, we've got our Season 3 Reloaded update detailed for us, and today with that, we're going to be taking a look at what you need to know and what's coming in this video. So drop your thoughts, drop a like, and make sure to subscribe for more Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, and FPS coverage here on the channel. I'd love to have you. Also, make sure to check out the short form content over on TikTok, link down below. But anyways, let's get into it. So firstly, let's start out with the multiplayer side of things here. We touched on some of this already with the Season 3 Reloaded first look a couple of days ago, but firstly, we know of the maps of Grime and Checkpoint coming from multiplayer. Grime being a 6v6 medium-sized map where it's said to navigate an abandoned corner of London as you weave through Grime's Dockside District, a graffiti-laden hub featuring the remnants of the once lively SKN comms building, besides the Captain's Dog pub and the now-defunct boathouse. Swim through the murky waters of the canal and battle along the decks. Surviving this derelict urban location will require smart use of the map's checkpoints and a penchant for dirty tactics. Now, as we mentioned before, it seems like based off this TAC map, it's going to be something that's a bit more closer quarters here, I would imagine, in terms of gunplay. SMGs probably thriving, rifles still having probably a place in some of those mid-map engagements, then also on the exterior and the outskirts of the map as well for those longer lines of sight. But looking forward to that one, that being a brand new introduction here for this. But the additional map we have on top of this is a repurposed 6v6 medium-sized map of Checkpoint, that being, of course, from Rebirth Island. Stating with Rebirth Island out in the wild, there's a good chance they've already engaged in combat in this area on the island's eastern stronghold POI. Checkpoint keeps the fight focused in and around the main buildings of the military comms outpost in a modified version of the map where the upper walkways and control tower are sealed off, emphasizing combat on the ground. Battle within the armory and garage, or take on foes in the forward construction site and rear roundabout. So obviously, you're not going to have as much verticality as you do in Warzone, which is definitely, I think, a nice part. You don't want to have too much of that, but I'm curious to see how this will play as a traditional 6v6 map in that sense, where it's not a sort of 3-lane style map, it's not symmetrical in any way, shape, or form, but it could be something that plays well, maybe not. But beyond that, we of course know the new weapon of the Ball 27. Not going to stay too long on that. We have a video breaking down the weapons coming later this weekend in more depth and everything, but the Ball 27, a classic from Advanced Warfare, returning alongside the Moors here as those sort of revitalizations of those two. Beyond that, we have the new modes of Minefield and Escort. Again, we talked about those already. Minefield being similar to Horde Point, but instead when you kill an enemy, they drop a cluster mine, so it's going to be something that EOD is pretty imperative here to this mode. Escort being like Safeguard from Black Ops 3, was it Payload from Warzone, and then of course most recently you have the War mode with the Escort objective, obviously that being the main focus of that, but that coming around in a 6v6 mode just exclusively for that as well. One thing that I find interesting is that there's a mentioned arcade playlist where it says boost your powers exponentially with a mid-season arcade playlist supporting a variety of maps and modes featuring power-ups and special weapon pickups, where eliminated enemies will drop a power-up granting one of 2 temporary abilities on pickup, unlimited ammo or unlimited grenades. Let loose on your foes without mundane concerns like ammo supply and grenade count. Additionally, weapon pickup will bring the pain with special weapon pickups scattered throughout the environment, immediately noticeable by their glowing effects and floating animation. Now, what I find interesting about this though is the image associated with this has a new camo that we haven't seen just yet. But while I don't think it's the same, it could be one of the phases of that arcade style camo we saw leak a while back. There was a really cool animated one, but we never saw it come just yet. So that might be it, might be something different. But also, if it's something that's included here with this, is this going to be a playlist specific camo? Because as we'll touch on in a second, we don't actually have a whole ton in regards to events that are detailed with this with a mid-season update. So maybe, maybe not. But anyways, we have that EMD mine and the enhanced vision goggles as our equipment and field upgrade coming with the mid-season. The EMD mine being something that once activated, it'll tag enemies with a sort of tracker dart of sorts that they can end up removing, but until they do, they're showcased on your minimap as an advanced UAV real-time ping. Additionally, the enhanced vision goggles gives target enhanced tracking, similar to like your target finder from Black Ops 2, but in an NVG style goggle, but it's on a limited battery, so you don't have the ability to use it all game. And finally, on the multiplayer side of things, again, events. This is an interesting one because there's not a whole ton listed so far. The last 2 to 3 blog posts starting with season 2, we ended up getting the events throughout the season detailed, actually in specific, giving dates and everything like that, where we knew what we'd have every single week leading through the first half and the second half of the season. But right now, we know the Vortex Virus mainframe event is going to last for 2 weeks. That's starting today, actually. So that will go from this last week of the first half of the season into the week following the update. But beyond that, we only know of the U Assist Veterans event, which is going to last another 2 weeks, but that leaves an additional open week on the calendar before season 4. So maybe there's something else coming, maybe not. We don't know yet. But anyways, those are your events here that we know of. Now, Zombies, we know, of course, is going to have some content, but again, emphasis on some. It's not a whole ton. You have a new story chapter, a new rift, a few different schematics, including the dead wire detonators, which is basically dead wire for your explosives, the golden mask filter, which is a gas mask that will regenerate itself, and the Sergeant's Beret, which is essentially your disguise from DMZ, but a way to disguise yourself amongst the mercs. Plus, you also get a sort of merc bodyguard who follows you around as well. You have the new Warlord of the Rainmaker, which is going to be a demolitions expert per se, so that'll be one to take a look at. But that's your zombie stuff. Not a whole ton, but it's something because we didn't get anything in the Season 3 launch, nor did we get anything in the Season 2 launch. So still very bare bones, but beyond that, Warzone, we end up having a couple of different things coming. We have that new heavy armor public event coming, which will be a rare occurrence on infill where it increases the base health from 150 to 200 for the whole match. So it's not something that is on a limited time run throughout that match, but if you end up getting that infill notification, the entire game, you're going to have to put a few more bullets into your enemies to take them out. The utility box is going to be coming, which is that field upgrade that allows you to have armor and ammo out of one box, which is definitely going to be nice. You have the weapon trade station, which is going to be cool, I think, and a nice way to sort of boost or perhaps even troll your enemies if you end up killing them in your, say, buy one, where you can trade in their custom weapons for some higher level loot. You have the specialist perk package available, though they have not detailed how to get that just yet, but it comes along with every single perk available in the game. So bear with me, but it's going to be your Battle Hardened, Double Time, EOD, Focus, Irradiated, Mechanic, Mountaineer, Scavenger, Shrapnel, Sleight of Hand, Spotter, Strong Arm, Cold-Blooded, Escapist, Payout, Primed, Quick Fix, Resupply, Stalker, Survivor, Tempered Tracker, Bird's Eye, Combat Scout, Flex, Ghost, High Alert, Resolute, and Shrouded. You're going to have all of those if you end up getting the Specialist perk package. The new Kill Streak of Foresight will be available as well on Rebirth Island, where you can see every single future zone for the entirety of that match, and of course, they state more is on the way. They stated that Loaded Resurgence is going to be coming at mid-season, which should bolster that player count, which is definitely going to be cool. And Rebirth Lockdown later in the season will be coming as well for those that are locked down and those Respawn fans. And that's about it in regards to the gameplay stuff. They did mention very briefly the bunkers on Urzikstan, saying that curious squads who explore these are apt to discover the rewards within, but that it isn't all that's coming, though some redacted surprises are best left for our players to uncover. So it sounds like there's something else going to be happening here with this, but we have genuinely no clue what that is going to be. So curious what that'll amount to. I'm going to be jumping in for sure. But that is your Season 3 Reloaded update in a nutshell and everything that we have revealed to us as of today. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this seasonal update upcoming next week? Like what we have on deck, dislike it, whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. We're getting all things Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, and other FPS coverage. I'd love to have in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine's been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.